Have you ever wondered how stress can have an impact on humans? All the negativity it brings? Well, I have, so sit down and open your ears while I share my newly learned knowledge with you. People these days stress about the little things in life. For example, a grade on a test or the reaction of someone when giving them a gift, while they could be concentrating on the positive aspects of things. Let's start by defining the word stress. Stress is a physical, mental, or emotional factor that causes bodily or mental tension. Stress can be both positive and negative, but for now, I will concentrate on the negative aspects of it. Stress is the result of brain chemicals called hormones surging through the body. Continuous stress can later develop into anxiety. Anxiety is the tendency to create stress for yourself, to exaggerate it, or be scared of it from the very first signs. Did you know that 1 in 4 adults has an anxiety disorder at one point in their life?
What can stress provoke? Stress can provoke multiple things, such as tension, headaches, so dull pain, tightness, or pressure around your forehead or the back of your head, insomnia, the inability to sleep, weakened immune system, the ability to fight off bacteria is reduced, high blood pressure, the increase of pressure in your blood, and many more.
Did you know that when you are stressed, your immune system doesn't work as well as it should?
Can medicines help lower stress level? While some medicines are useful for many things, they are not so useful for stress. Some people take medicines that calm them down, but it is more effective in long terms to learn how to manage your stress and make sure you don't confuse stress with anxiety.
Did you know that women experience more physical signs of stress than men?
Are there different kind of stress? Yes, there is four different kind of stress. There is acute stress, chronic stress, eustress, and distress. Acute stress is one of the most kind of stress. It is known as the fight or flight response and happens when the body prepares to defend itself. When it happens, the body lives an increase of cortisol, adrenaline, and other hormones. It takes about 90 minutes to the body to go back to normal after the response. Chronic stress is when a person receives stress over a long period of time and has no or little control over it. Eustress is positive stress where the experience is said to be beneficial. Distress is such an extreme anxiety that the person feels pain or sorrow.
Did you know that some people are more prone to acne, rashes, etc. while being stressed?
I asked some people in my entourage questions about their stress. Here are their answers. Does stress affect your everyday life?
It can, yes.
In what ways?
Well, a little bit of stress can do a lot of good because it gets you going, it gets you motivated, gives you energy. But over a long period of time, too much stress makes you unable to think rationally, sometimes impacts your sleep. You can forget and be eating and not noticing what you're eating and always being hungry and taking it out on food or being grumpy. So, yes.
When you are stressed, how do you feel physically and emotionally?
Do you mean when I have a big stress or just a little bit?
Like a big negative stress.
Um, well, my mind will start racing. I will think about 10,000 things all at once. I'll go around in circles in the house. I'll try to head out the door, forget to put my shoes. I'll be distracted. Um, Sometimes I'll even say, sentences backwards or flip words, and my hands will be sweaty.
What is your method to help control your stress?
Take a deep breath, take a pause, and repeat to yourself one thing at a time.
What is your biggest cause of stress?
Um, I can't say I have one big cause of stress.
What are they?
Having too much on my plate, taking on too many things when all the deadlines are at once or all on the same day, I'd say that would be my biggest.
Have you experienced a situation where stress was a positive thing? How did it help you instead of harm you?
When you do things you like, or when you volunteer for stuff you like, and you're actually excited about the activity, even though you have a lot to do and it's stressful because there's many things you don't know how they're gonna happen, you feel excited and that gives you a lot of energy.
Does stress affect your everyday life?
Yes, it does in certain ways because it makes me feel vulnerable and it makes me feel scared in certain situations, or it prevents me from doing certain things.
When you are stressed, how do you feel physically and emotionally?
Well, since I have anxiety, I mostly tremble, or sometimes I can't breathe. It depends on the situation and the level of stress that I'm feeling.
What is your most effective method to help control your stress?
Sometimes just breathing slowly, taking the time to compose myself and tell myself that everything will be fine and whatever.
What is your greatest cause of stress?
Well, most of the times it's school. It's a very stressful thing, due dates and homework and all, and evaluations and exams, but also just mostly everyday life and the future and what it brings, and responsibilities that we have as we grow older and all of that.
Have you ever experienced a situation where stress was a positive thing? How did it help you instead of harm you?
Well, since I'm a competitive dancer, we have to perform in front of a lot of people, big crowds, and sometimes, of course, that can be stressful, but it's a good stress since it can be exhilarating and it's just a good stress.
Natalie Burton is a student at l'École secondaire catholique Cassamine. She recently wrote a song about anxiety. When I asked her what inspired her, she answered me with,
Stuck was inspired by my own troubles, my anxiety, and how I felt towards it. I struggled with anxiety my entire life, and it has prevented me from doing many, many different things. And I feel like something internally, like it's inside of me, was saying, like, you gotta write this song not only for yourself but for other people. And so because of like my struggle with anxiety, I was able to pull out lyrics really, really easily. So yeah, no, it was really cool. And I think it was just the fact that I needed that message of hope, so I was hoping to also supply other people with that same message.
and this is Natalie's song, Stuck.
Hey, are you doing fine? Alone that in your mind.
And don't be scared to go listen to the entire thing on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you listen to your music.
Did you know that stress can mess up a woman's menstrual cycle?
Anxiety disorders come in 6 main categories: phobias, panic disorders, obsessive compulsive disorders, OCD, acute stress disorder, and post traumatic stress disorder. They all share the same features: irrational and excessive fear, apprehensive, intense feelings, and difficulty to manage daily
Did you know
tasks.
that stress increases the risk of type 2 diabetes?
Anxiety and stress affect us by changing the system of functioning, so the way you think, the way your body feels, and the way you act.
Did you know that your genes might affect the way you manage your stress?
I learned that the school recently decided to add a Zen room at the Orientation. So I went to see Madame José Martin to talk about it with her. If a teacher sees that a student is anxious, cannot function anymore, the teacher can send the student in that room so he or she can relax. As Madame Martin said, of course there are rules. It wouldn't be possible to function without them. Here are some of the rules. No phones are allowed. The student must be seen by Monsieur Daniel Larocque or Madame Jenny Clément. They cannot stay for the entire period, and there cannot be more than one student at a time. As you can see in this picture, there are fidget toys to help the students relax.
Did you know that you can indirectly die of stress?
Why did I choose this subject? I chose to do this subject because the definitions of stress and anxiety are often misused, and I wanted to really show the difference and show that there are many ways to help control it and many people to help you with that. How can you make a difference? Everyone can make a difference by spreading awareness to others. If you see a person struggling because of their stress, help them. How does it relate to me? As a student who likes to succeed, I constantly stress over tests, projects, etc. I also tend to overthink every situation and stress about problems that don't necessarily exist. I also have a lot of relatives who suffer from anxiety, and often others don't know how to act around them because they don't know their illness. I think it is important for people to learn what to do so the people living the illness feel more welcome. Did you miss anything during the documentary? Well, don't worry. I have a website with all the information that was said during the documentary. If you want to rewatch the documentary, it is also on there.